Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
And welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I tell you is brought to you by Dispose LLC. This is a small garbage company that I don't even like saying small anymore because I want to grow.
Right.
But one of the things I can tell you, because I'm an honest person, we're small now. Help me get us to that next level. And how you can do that is you go to the website and you don't even have to call me.
Yeah.
And we can get you set up, get a dumpster to your house because coronavirus, we want to get all that bad stuff that you've been holding on to. Now, I know some of y'all want to throw your wives in there. We don't take humans, okay? Just trying to let you know. No.
Right.
There's other things y'all need to be thrown away, not her. Or your kids. I don't need them either. But for all your junk, throw it up in there and we get it away from you. Over here at Dispose.
Okay.
Now, let's get back to who I've been rocking with for 4 years, going on 5. Craftmatic, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Man, I'm doing lovely, bro.
You still doing that glow, bro. I like that.
Yeah, man. I'm, just sailing along in the breeze.
Okay.
Life is good, man.
I like
Life is
that.
good. Been more laser focused than have been in previous days, and I'm working out now, Jay.
Okay.
Listen, I might be be stretched out.
I started. Then I stopped.
You know what, man? I've decided that rather than just go in like super hard,
Right, you've been
then I'm gonna just do a, just keep myself growing every day. Just, I'm
Right.
saying, I do 100 push-ups a day, and I'm doing
Add
20
to it.
pull-ups, and I'm getting stronger. And I've been at it for 3 weeks now. Now it's like when I get home, my whole mind and my body is like expecting to work
Right.
out. I'm gonna spend 20 minutes getting this power workout. My muscles are gonna burn the rest of the night. It's gonna be a great night. So, man, I'm just doing well, man. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm glad you mentioned this workout because we're going to have to go with this, how we start stuff and stop. Man, I went hard in the paint. And then I kind of fell off. Again, and I didn't go with a lot of weight. I went with the cardio.
Yeah.
One of the things I like to say, getting up there in age, I wanted to keep the cardio right. I wanted to keep the internal things going. I wasn't trying to get high school sexy.
Right.
All right? I'm to a point in my life right now, I want to be good on the inside and on the outside. And that way I can finish this journey
Right.
that I really am enjoying. So I have to get back laser focused on that. I
Yes.
pushed the business, the talk radio show, and my regular trucking business in front of that. And I got to push back, and I got to balance.
Okay.
And one of the things I would like to say is we get unbalanced a lot.
Yes, we do, and I wanna give you a little Minecraft clip on that here in
Okay.
just a moment. A perfect way to introduce our show. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay,
In the building.
and of course, every week we are here to simply liberate your mind with a great dialogue. We're gonna have a conversation here tonight about monogamy, and I want you to just sit back and observe our thoughts and opinions and our experiences and our stories, and ask yourself, what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Make some clear and cut decisions in your mind about how you're going to use this dialogue and this time that you're spending with us tonight. We like this to be somewhat therapeutic, and so we're so grateful that you are here tonight with us, whether sooner or later. And of course, we always start our show off with a prayer. Jay, if you wanted to.
Man, knock him over the head, man. Knock him over the head.
Okay. I'm gonna do a simple prayer tonight. Barb has asked a prayer on the healing of our young children,
Ooh, okay.
and it's very interesting. This kind of prayer is not about me.
Mm-mm.
Right? I'm praying for someone else, and sometimes the power comes out a little differently, as you'll hear throughout this prayer. But I just want to take some time, Heavenly Father, right now to just acknowledge you as our Savior, and we thank you for all the grace and mercy that you give us in our lives. We pray tonight, Father, specifically for the children. We ask, Father, that you would somehow invoke a new spirit and a new idea in all children to have an awesome life. We're asking, Father, that you would straighten their path and give them guidelines to follow, somehow in their spirits and in their minds. Orchestrate their steps, Father, to success and to peace and to love, Father. Somehow, Father, we're asking tonight that you would liberate the minds of children to keep them filled with hope and strengthen their faith and resolve to accomplish this great life, Heavenly Father. We ask, Father, that you would organize their steps, that you would organize their mind and their affairs. I'm talking about all children coming under the anointing of this word right now. We ask, Father, that you would give them the strength to be overcomers and to see victory in their lives. Renew our world by renewing our children, Heavenly Father. Teach them how to fight and how to win the battles of life, Heavenly Father. We strike down, Father, every enemy that would come against our children in any way, in any form, in any fashion. May they have no place in the children's lives, and may they be stamped out, and we rebuke them right now in the name of Jesus. We ask, Father, that you would educate these children to the levels of their greatest capacity. Renew our world, renew our whole world, Father, through our children right now in this prayer. We pray that you would be here tonight, Father, to lead us and guide us in this great discussion of monogamy. And we thank you for all that you are in our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And that prayer right there, a lot of people wouldn't even know. That goes out to Tajari. She's down there in Macon, Georgia. She's recovering. And again, Barb didn't throw her in. I got to throw her out there. Wonderful young lady. I'm sorry that she got injured, but she's recovering now. And our prayers is with her.
Yeah, man.
And you did that thing, bro.
Ah, man. I was feeling that.
I can tell you.
I was feeling that. And, you know, what was going through my mind, actually, one of the key things that kept going through my mind is I kind of always sense how people might receive these prayers even as I'm praying them. I don't know, it's just part of the third eye. But I wasn't thinking about kids, children. I was thinking about grown folk, children. And, you know, there are a lot of folk who haven't, for whatever reason, been able to fully grow up. And they're leading lives astray because they don't have hope. Right. And they don't have guides and straight paths under their feet. And they don't feel like they're overcomers and victorious in their spirit. Right. And, you know, it's just a lot of pain going on in the world right now. And so that prayer was not just for the babies. You know, that prayer was for even the 40-year-old child in you that needs guidance and that needs strength and that needs fight to overcome the struggles of life. So, you know, that's just where my mind was at.
Hey, I'm fine with it because I'm 51 and I needed that.
I needed that too, yeah.
I'm still my mama's child.
I was praying for myself, yeah.
Hey, all right there.
Yeah.
But I know we got other people that it definitely need to go out to and touch.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right now. And so let's go ahead and jump into last week's topic, and we're going to continue this topic tonight. Maybe even recover some of the things that we covered last week because it was a rich subject. It was a rich subject. Why do people push for monogamy in relationships, particularly women?
Some men do too, but we will say, I know I've been pushed by a lot of different women.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about that too.
I mean, yeah.
You got a lot of pain behind that, Jay.
I mean, I won't even call it pain. It's just when somebody puts something on you and you strong enough now to realize, I can't just fall for the okie doke. I can't just give you what you asked for without having a balance in it. Right. And I know I'm not there, but you feel like I can be there anyway. I'm that one, and then you be like, okay, so if I do this before I'm ready, and then you're going to get mad at some of the things I might do. So my whole thing is, let me make sure I'm mature to a level that we can go from this point. Yeah. And if I'm not there, don't force me. And that's why you get the pushback. Because I really feel like some of my younger years, I just went with the flow.
Yeah.
Are we getting in a relationship? Yeah, that's what it takes to get with you. Yeah, sure. You know, and then I just moseyed on along, and I wasn't the man in that. I wasn't no king. I wasn't the person bringing the upfront authority that I should have. I was really just being weak and just being happy to be with somebody. And then because I didn't learn everything. I was taught differently, and I didn't really comprehend things that people was telling me at that time. Yeah. Now I'm starting to understand better, and I'm starting to do better. But I would not be pushed astray by somebody else that's going to take me off of my path just because of theirs.
And when you say pushed astray, kind of what comes to my mind is they have an objective or a goal, or they have something they want to achieve, and it's out of alignment with what you want.
Exactly.
And so if they start trying to close the deal or press the issue, then they get pushback, right? And that makes perfect sense, you know. I think monogamy is one of those things that we talked about last week that really ultimately just always, I think, leads to a loving, happy, healthy relationship. That having, it basically is, the definition is basically have a single partner. Right? one partner that you live your life with, you love, you grow with, etc. Not multiple partners, right? One partner, one person. And, kind of the question is, and I think women and men would answer this question differently, is are we only supposed to be with one person?
I mean, if that was the case, why we got so much cheating going on? I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I'm not throwing monogamy by the wayside.
People breaking the rules.
They're breaking the rules, so is it more because that's what their nature is, just to chase more, to be with more?
No, I think kind of what it says, if there's so much cheating going on in the world, and there is a lot of cheating going on in the world, that it just says that I don't want a monogamous relationship. I want a piece of a monogamous relationship.
Or peace. I just want to shut her up.
Or a peace.
I'm going to say we're going to be in this.
But if you get some women's peace, they want you to be their man.
But yeah. Well, I ain't gonna lie to you.
And that's not a bad way to manage life.
I can tell you, and it's not me telling myself, but you can be with a person that's cool with just dating, all right? And they cool with it until you hit it right. When you give it to them in a way that they really, all that other talk is off, bro. You can forget it. You talking about just good friends, Netflix and chill. All that's cool until you get in that position where she feeling you real good. Then everything you said before then was womp.
And Jay, I'm gonna put down here.
What's that?
Hitting it good, right? Because I wonder. See, if you're gonna continue to hit it, and you know that she wants a monogamous relationship, and you don't, what are you doing to her? What are you doing to yourself?
What you mean? I mean, it got good because
she's not probably gonna stop letting you hit it, but she wants a monogamous relationship.
Well, I mean, sometimes they don't really say that, so I don't.
No,
really
you already know.
I say I don't.
No, stop playing games with the girl, man.
Okay. Well, she wanted it, I didn't, and then when I hit it that way, it just changed the whole game.
Yeah.
And at that point, she ain't looking for me to be doing anything I used to do.
Right.
And I need to see things her way. Right. So it immediately changed. But I thought that's kind of odd. It didn't change because good conversation. She feeling me in this way. It was like, yo, she woke up staring and like, what happened?
Damn, Jay, you put it down like that? You make them fall in love with you?
I'm just saying, bro, I sent a lot of people to Grady.
Oh, my God.
Jay responsible for some folks down at Grady. I think I got some folks on the wall, bro. I mean, it happens.
It does happen, We're going to continue this dialogue, and I want to continue right from here. But I want you folks to know it was a dynamic show. There was so many interesting comments that came out. That really just gives you perspective on relationships and having a monogamous relationships. So we're going to continue that dialogue tonight. So, but you can catch the show anywhere on Facebook. We're here every week, Thursday, 7 to 9, Facebook Live. You can catch us all over the internet, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. There's some more over there.
Craigslist, Black Planet.
Hey, wherever you are, that's where we are, right? But please take a look at it, like us, share us, subscribe, like it, share us, and subscribe. Send it to your friends and family. Let everybody know about some of the positive messages that are coming out of Bar Talk with Jay. If you like talk radio, you are at the right place. And so we have a quote here for tonight, and I'm yet to even fully read this quote. I need to be ashamed of myself, but I'm going to get it in right here. Let's see what Bar had to say tonight. I used to pray that God would feed the hungry, or do this, or do that. But now I pray that he will guide me to do whatever I'm supposed to do, what I can do. I used to pray for answers, but now I'm praying for strength. I used to pray to believe that prayer changes things, but now I know that prayer changes us, and we change things.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
That's good. That's good. It describes the evolution of one's prayer. She said, I used to pray for answers, now I just pray for strength. That's a growth place.
All day long.
That's a growth place.
Because he revealed
I always have this notion that you should never really ask God why. You could ask the world why, but don't ask God why. Because if God is going to answer every question that you ask him, It might take him a couple of years to show you the answer to that question. And then when you get the answer, you be like, damn, I waited for 2 years for the answer to this question. And it could have left you 2 years back. You know? So I don't ask God questions. I'm just like Barb, I don't necessarily pray for answers. I pray for strength. Because the strength will lead me to, and the answer is always coming. That's what we need to know about life. The answers are always seeking you as much as you are seeking them. Right? Challenge is if you're not seeking the answers, they're not seeking you.
And you probably won't find them.
Right? So, powerful.
Profound.
Powerful. How we doing on time? Well, a couple minutes?
No.
You got a couple minutes?
Good.
Ready to cut? Okay. All right. So, folks, once again, we're talking about monogamy tonight.
Part 2.
And I hope you enjoy the music tonight. Tonight's music is a little strong in lyrics.
Okay, what we got?
Is that okay, Jay?
Yeah,
It's
man,
a little
give it
strong
to
in
him.
lyrics, but it's some hot music. It's very much up to date. And of course, in a couple of segments later on, I got some brand new Minecraft clips I want to play for you.
Definitely got to throw them in there.
Yeah, I want to throw them in there. In fact, I might just switch on over to one of them right now. Jay, you ready to get one of them? Yeah, let's get it. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and play a Minecraft clip. I'm going to switch it up. Y'all just listen up. You can't hear me, but the message is powerful. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. More Bar Talk with Jay. Welcome back, man.
That was a great episode of Minecraft.
You like that, man?
Man, this is one of the segments that I really love because it's like the healing behind the conversation.
Yes.
That's what I really love about it.
And sorry for the abrupt ending. That one is, these are not edited. These are brand
Okay.
new. And we haven't posted these yet to social media. I've got probably about 15 or 20 in the pipeline that still needs to be edited.
So
So
I'm first. Just letting y'all hearing it first right
yeah,
here.
you're hearing it
Bar
first
Talk
right
with
here.
Jay.
Absolutely. And this is going to be great stuff, on our channel. But the whole premise of that, if I could just mention for a moment, is that sometimes we don't have a system to manage life.
No.
Right? For those people who study the Word of God, and for those people who have been raised with this mindset that no matter what I undertake, I'm going to first start out with prayer.
Right.
That's a system of life. That's a way that you can attack. You can attack every single thing in your life through that one thing, right? And so mental equivalence is a system to attack life.
Right.
So that tomorrow, I might have a little concern in the back of my mind about what's going to happen tomorrow. Whether I'm going to be able to get that truck up, or you're going to be able to make the timing. I hope traffic wasn't too much, or is the deposit going to come in right, or am I going to get paid back? Whatever the case may be. Well, I'm encouraging you to speak words over your life, right? That tomorrow is going to be just fine.
Okay.
Tomorrow is going to be an easy day. Tomorrow I'm going to hear good news. I'm speaking over tomorrow.
I like that.
Right? I'm very conscious about it because those thoughts somehow emanate into victories over tomorrow.
Okay.
Right? So I'm telling my mind what I want it to achieve. I want it to achieve me being a great father, a great person, having a fun-filled life. I want the rest of my life to be a journey of glory to glory to glory. Right? I want to play on the playground of the promised land. Right?
Go ahead now.
Yeah, man.
Preach to me.
Don't get me preaching, man.
Yeah, sound like
You
you're
don't,
doing it.
you don't just want to be in the promised land. You want to be on the playground.
That's
You don't
right.
want to be on just the playground. You want to play on the playground of the promised land. Right?
Man, get off the bench. That's what I'm talking about.
Right?
You ain't trying to be a fan.
Yeah,
You
man.
trying to get in the game.
I'm trying to get in the game.
So,
Full swing, So let's go ahead and chop it up tonight about why do people push for monogamy in relationships? And I don't think we've succinctly tried to answer the question, and I'd like to do that a little bit, Jay, if we could.
I mean, you want to go there, feel free.
I'm just going to ask the question now. Why do people push for monogamy?
I think it's really been taught.
It's been taught.
It's been taught. And because of that, that's what their expectations are. And I don't really feel like everybody's really ready for it. But they've been taught that's how it goes. That's how it should be. So that's what they push for. And that's why a lot of times, some men don't. Because that's not our thoughts and that's not exactly how we've been taught. So and some people say that's why we wire so differently.
Right.
And then that's why we get labeled extra. You know, they got other words for it, but we were always extra. I say this whole is like tendencies that we might show, but really it's just because we didn't really feel like we just wanted to be in that one person type deal. We wanted to do multiple before we can figure out what it is we really want. And then, of course, we settle down and we go to that because that's normally where it's being pushed with the person that you're dealing with. If a person don't push for it, I'm pretty much sure a lot of people will just be cool with it. But some men will probably say something different and say, no, I would want it. I don't want her to be with nobody else. And I respect it either way.
Is that the reason for monogamy? That I don't want her to be with somebody else?
It could be, but I don't really want to say because that could also be other issues too. A person could have some jealous ways about themselves, and that gives them the insurance that they don't have to be worried about that. Because once you enter into that, that's the promise that you just gave, and I shouldn't have to worry about that no more. At that point, you're just a liar. And I believe that's why somebody pushed that. Because if that's a fear of theirs, you being out there with somebody else, I can kill some of that fear by you agreeing to be in this like a contract. And it kills all that. Because once you agree, that's a contractual agreement, baby.
Yeah, and listen, we're probably going to be all over the place tonight, but I want to capture some good stuff here. You are suggesting the idea that there are relationships, monogamous relationships, that begin out of jealousy and fear of them being with somebody else.
Right. I ain't saying all. I'm
No.
just giving you a perception of why some people might want it and somebody push for it. And again, you got some people who was taught. That's just all they know. That's all that they ever was in, and they want the same thing with the next person.
Yeah, and if that's what you were taught, then that is what you consider to be right.
Right, that's your normal.
That is what you consider to be nirvana. It is the place to be. Mm-hmm. And I think if anybody has ever had a glimpse of a loving relationship, that's what they would want. I think it's it's the nature of humanity to be in love. It's the nature of humanity to have a special someone in your life. It's the nature of life to spend your life with other people, right? And so there's nothing wrong with if they were taught that. You know, society kind of teaches that. They all, we see all of these wedding ring commercials and
especially Valentine's Day coming up.
Yeah, friends used to always want to show me some wedding proposals on Instagram, or, and so, being married and having someone special in your life is special. And, there are people who have been taught that, but I don't think that's wrong. In fact, I think that's probably the most dominant thought. There are cultures who take it to the extreme, and they have multiple marriages, multiple partners, or multiple partners in marriage, polygamy. And so, but the whole idea is that I find someone to spend my life with. Right. And what's so wrong with that? Why do people run from that? Why do people run from monogamy?
I would say you're wrong for it if you're not ready for it. If you're not ready, then don't run into something that you really ain't prepared for it.
Okay. And listen, nobody is going to be ready for that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If you have every intent on not really being honest and true to it, then that's when I say you shouldn't just enter it.
Yeah.
Because again, you gotta enter it with that whole thought that it is for the both. We're both giving up. Yeah. Other people, it's just gonna be us.
Right.
So at that point, it becomes like a mutual bond.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But if that other person don't feel you like that, but she gonna go ahead and just do it just to shut you up, or just to keep the arguments down, then that's where the false
that's so rich right there, Jay. Because what you just alluded to was, don't get married. Don't let it be for a bullshit reason. Mm-hmm. Right? If you're not getting married out of a pure interest of monogamy and a long-term healthy relationship, if you get married for some crazy reason, it could be money, it could be jealousy, it could be what else could it be, Jay?
Can I even throw a spin to you?
Yeah.
Because I love how you just said the marriage thing. Marriage has changed through time. And everybody say traditional. Well, traditional marriage is way back in the days when two families came together.
And that's why I see that. No
right.
more.
So you had a daughter that wasn't messing with anybody. She was a virgin. And the son supposedly was, but he probably did a little bit, it's typical. But the two fathers came together, and he's giving up his daughter, and he's going to get riches for that. So the family gained wealth off of that marriage. Today, while we have a lot of failures, is because we got away from what it really was. It's now, I love him.
And let me tell you something.
And screw the family.
I think there's so much cheating going on. I know we're changing the subject a little bit, all over the place, but this is rich stuff. I think there's so much cheating going on because she nor he has those great levels of accountability to satisfy the other family.
Correct.
Right? That she can go and cheat and she ain't got to deal with the mama and the auntie and the cousin and the sister and everybody knowing and having a family meeting and getting embarrassed. And so there's much less accountability on people, right? We was doing business in LA. We met, what I'm saying? We came back together in Colorado. We hung out. We had a good time. Nobody know you. You don't know nobody know me.
Right.
And, we can go, we fall in love and we get married and, you know what I mean? And, I do my thing and end up you doing your thing. And, the world ain't even got to know,
No accountability.
Yeah, but no accountability. But yeah, I like the idea of don't let it be for a BS reason, and I think that should be a kind of a measuring stone for why you're getting married. I'd really like to take a poll of people and ask them why they get married, and people will get married because they love the other person, obviously, but there always are some hidden reasons. And, those are the things that can a lot of times get in the way. And I think those hidden reasons become very apparent in a relationship after a short period of time.
Right.
I know you only married me for my money.
Oh, I didn't bring that one up.
Yeah, I know you only married me because you ain't have nothing else going on in your life. I know you don't really love. I know you still love your ex-boyfriend. I know you love me, but I pushed forward, and what I'm saying. I was buying meals and red bottoms and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. That was raw, dog.
Yeah. A lot of times when relationships fail, a lot of times when they fall off, I don't think couples really look at how they started.
I totally agree with that.
And if you look back at how you started, you could have seen some of the BS automatic, right out front.
But you so trying to get to know somebody, you don't always pay a lot of attention.
Yeah, or just trying to have somebody in your life.
Especially if you've been lonely for a while.
Yeah, especially if you're getting some cookie. What I'm saying?
Yeah, when you get what? You can change that when you get that cookie.
Yeah, yeah, and cookie can be one of those reasons for monogamy as well.
Oh yeah, I told you, was it good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's right there, bro.
I wonder how many relationships have come together for primarily cookie reasons, and that's men and women cookie. Right? I wonder how many relationships say, "I love you, we gonna get married because it's so damn good."
I'm a cookie monster.
I bet a lot of relationships came together off of just straight sex.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Because the physical is, it's pretty meanable and it's hot to death.
Man, they got a lot.
So, there are those people who might come together off of that. And, I can't say that that's a BS reason, but
no.
It ain't strong enough to hold a relationship.
But it got people right there to the altar.
It got people to the altar.
Oh, yes. It got people in monogamous relationships.
And it got people through the honeymoon. But that first year... that first year, oh my God, they pushed for it, they got married, they was in love, and they didn't even know each other, right? But that hot sex was keeping their mind blinded. And that happens so much. So many people end up in monogamous relationships because the sex was really good. And I think because there's so many people who break up, it's obviously at some point the reality sets in. Right? Okay. The reality set in that, he has great sex, but he can't even have a conversation with me. He has great sex, but he has bad credit. Or she has great sex, but she don't even know how to carry herself. You know what I'm saying? I can't take her nowhere.
She can't cook.
She can't cook, right?
Besides bring them cookies over.
Yeah. And so, cookies cookies can get you in a monogamous relationship,
Yeah.
for sure.
Cookie can make you diabetic.
But that's one of those things that will not hold a relationship together.
Not
for
long
sure.
term.
You know,
Not long term.
I like where this conversation is going. I like the idea of. I think we have to really make that clear. How are we doing on time? A couple minutes, 2 minutes. All right. I just really like the idea of not getting married, not getting into a monogamous relationship for BS reasons, right?
I totally agree.
But in order to get in, if you are entering in a relationship for BS reasons, most people are not even asking themselves the questions. Why am I entering this relationship? Is this a good person? Is there some kind of dependency here? Is there something here that just a little too familiar spirit that is going to lead me down the same road I just went down? You know, I like him because he like my ex. I like him because he spend money, he do nice things for me. But he already got 3 kids, 3 baby mamas, and you ain't even asked him good questions. You know what I mean? You ain't even asked if he got a long-term plan or where he going with his life, or you just don't know anything, but you somehow figuring out that you want to be in love and married with this person for a long time. And I think those are the mistakes, quote-unquote mistakes. Sometimes they work out for the good, but I think those are the mistakes that young people make, right? They just jump in, right? Grown folks don't really make those kinds of mistakes all the time, right? I think older people, who have something to lose, who have a little life, they got their own little empire, to give it away so quickly, even over great sex, is not something that they're willing to do. And, we should probably talk about, older folk, grown folk, the older generation in monogamous relationships, because they oftentimes look very different than young people's relationships. And so maybe we'll spend some time on that whenever we get back.
We definitely talk about some of that.
Yeah, we definitely got to talk about some of that. So I got another Minecraft clip here for you. It's called Seasons of Life, and I hope you folks enjoy it. We're going to be right back with more of our Talk with Jay.
Yeah, we back in the building, baby, and we got Buddha. Just showed up. Buddha, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Slow motion, man. How you feeling, Jay? What up, crap?
What's up, big time? Glad to have you in the house
Now,
again.
the question gonna be this next person we're about to introduce, because if he had a bad day, we've been
big
noticing it's been getting real shaky up in here. So we gotta find out how it's going. Jeffrey, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Brother Jay, Brother Kraft, Brother Buddha, how's everybody doing tonight, fellas?
Everybody's lovely, man. Everybody's lovely. How are you tonight, man?
Oh man, it's colder than a frog's toe outside. But the sun came out, I ain't complaining. I'm happy about that. It could have been worse. It could have been worse, but in spite of that chilly frost on the outside, my granddaughter loves me, and my son loves me, my mama, my whole family, and a whole lot of women. They all love me. But in spite of all of that, you know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
It is time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I give you some answers from a man's point of view. Now, I got one reason for the habitually single woman and one reason for the habitually single man as to why you might be single. But before we get into that, here is my disclaimer. Now, see, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you. And if it doesn't apply to you, I want you to put your foot up in this shoe. But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes and walk around in them, because you're about to learn something tonight. Now, ladies, you go first.
Okay.
All right, ladies, some of y'all are single simply because you are not a partner, but you are a competitor. I'm going to read this one again. See, ladies, you want your man to excel, but not too much. Ladies, you want your man to look good, but not to look so good that he takes away from your shine. You want him to make good money, but not so much money that he invalidates you. You want him ambitious, but not to the point of the exclusion of you. You want him focused, but not on anything that you don't approve of. You want him to have goals, but not bigger than yours, because you want You want him to have goals, but not goals that are bigger than yours. You want increase for him, but it needs to be within 3% of your own expected increase. And if that doesn't align, there's going to be some competition. Not companionship, not compassion, not completion or cooperation. Just competition. And he already competes with the rest of the world outside of his home, and he has no interest in competing inside of his home, so he chooses to leave your competitive ass single.
That is so good, man. That is so good. Men experience that a lot. Right?
Somebody should be walking.
Yeah. Somebody hurting.
Yeah, somebody should be
The
walking
first
around.
thing that came to my mind is a lack of teamwork.
Yes, sir.
I mean, and boy, that can hurt a relationship, especially one with great potential.
Some names came to my head. I wonder if they listening.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna let Brother Jeffrey carry, but he said not companionship, not completion, not cooperation.
It's a whole lot of
Just
knots.
competition.
Yeah, a whole lot of knots.
And you wonder why you by yourself.
Yeah. Back to you, Brother Jeffrey.
All right, fellas, don't think I'm letting y'all off the hook.
It's out.
Fellas, you are next. All right, fellas, some of y'all are single simply because you are still on the nipple. Suckling on the smothering and the spoiling that your mother slathered on you and has been since the day you've been born. And you're single because your nuts haven't dropped. Because you simply refuse to stand up and do what men do. And you still single because even when you take the nipple out your mouth, you got a damn pacifier that you put right in it. Don't get it twisted. Now having a nipple in your mouth is nice every now and then. Don't get it twisted. But the nipple represents leaving your mother's house because you probably don't know your father. The pacifier represents whatever you are addicted to that restrains your fire. Where is your fire, brother? Where is your fire? In the face of all the adversity, in the face of this cold, cruel world, where is your fire? It's probably at your mama's house where you live, and that's why your ass is single.
Woo!
Had a rough day at the job,
Yeah. Somebody stepped on his corns.
What? He tore our ass up.
Yeah, he did.
Listen, I don't feel convicted on this.
I didn't
one,
feel
'cause
good, but somebody by the
Yeah,
listen.
somebody hurting.
I left my mama's house at 19, now at 20, and I had a degree when I left there, so I'm not even concerned about this one. But we do see
Yes, we do.
a lot of men still on the nipple. He said if you finally get the nipple out your mouth, you have a damn pacifier.
You're going to be sucking on something.
Yeah, you be sucking. And they're good all the time. My favorite part, and this sets it off right here.
What's that one?
Where is your fire?
Yeah.
Men, where is your fire?
He ain't worried about that fire. Got that nipple. Got that nipple and that pacifier.
Back to you, Brother Jeffrey.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to understand something. People are standing up showing that you don't have to settle for what you've been told. I'm sure you heard about how the people got together and ran up on Wall Street and forced Wall Street into a corner. And now Wall Street mad. Wall Street trying to change the rule on these people that got together and changed how they're going to operate. I need everybody to understand. You don't have to wait for a New Year's resolution. You don't have to wait on a stimulus check. You don't have to wait on somebody to walk up to you and give you an opportunity. You were born with every tool that you need to be successful in this world. Every tool that you need is already inside you. You've just been convinced that it's not enough. You've been convinced that the only people that can do this are those people in suits and ties. I'm here to tell you right now that the only difference between them and you is the belief system. We have to change what we believe by believing and acting like we are worthy of better than what we have right now. Now, don't get it twisted. We're standing up. We're getting our act together. We're doing things differently. What I want you to know is we ain't got to wait. It ain't got to be a 10-year plan. You can put it in effect in 10 minutes and start on it in 11. All I want you to know is inspiration is within you. It's around you. It's in your mind. All you have to do is act on it right now. And that's all I got on that.
All right.
That's so powerful. And boy, I tell you what, there's so many messages here, and I'm just going to try to regurgitate just for a second because I don't want nobody to miss what Brother Jeffrey is talking about right here. He says at the very beginning, he said, you don't have to settle.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you can change how you operate. Mm-hmm. Right? And that you are already born with the tools, you just are not convinced that you can do it.
Correct.
The only difference between them and you is the belief system. You got to feel worthy. And you do that by starting now. Right? Starting now. Man, there's so many powerful messages there. Thank you so much, Brother Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. Last week, we talked about monogamy. And I didn't know, Brother Jeffrey, if maybe something hit your mind this week that you might want to share on the idea of monogamy. It seems like people are running away from it. And in my mind, they're running away from love. Why is that? What are people running from monogamy for?
I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial. If it's controversial, well, it fits my mode. Here's the thing. Monogamy is a bit of a trap. It is something that was instituted to keep the lower class from building wealth together. If you look on a global scale, monogamy is the minority of relationships. On a global scale, most relationships are polygamous, meaning that a man may have more than one wife, and in some countries, a woman may have more than one husband. But here's the deal, in nearly every one of those cultures, you can only have more than one wife if you can treat them all the same. It is a badge of honor if you can have 3 wives and take care of all 3 equally. So when we're talking about it from a financial standpoint, monogamy doesn't make that much sense. When you talk about it from a spiritual standpoint, I understand one man, one woman. I get it. Don't get it twisted. Even Adam had 2 wives. One of them was a bit less cooperative than the other.
Yep, Lilith.
And she got put out of the garden, if you believe that doctrine. Another doctrine teaches you that Adam had Lilith first, and Lilith was expelled, and Eve looked just like Lilith. And that's why the devil was mad, because you basically took the woman that I adored, Lilith, and kicked her out and made somebody look just like her for Adam. Now I got to go get Adam. I'm saying this because I want everybody to be clear. If you want to be monogamous, you go right ahead. But that don't mean you got to look down your nose at somebody who decides that me and these two women can get together and build an economic base, and we take care of our children like a community.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying, but hey, do what works for you, but let other people also do what works for them. I think monogamy is cool, however, it's a bit of a trap.
And just to open the door a little bit inside your world, Brother Jeffrey, are you seeking monogamy? Is that something that's on your plate? Is that what you desire?
Well, I put it to you like this. I've been married twice.
Okay.
And I've had both of those women really, really work very hard with me to try to maintain a monogamous relationship. It didn't work for other reasons, just compatibility, and, there's a certain reason in the season we were together. Now, I could be monogamous again. Don't get it twisted. But I tell you what, it's from a financial standpoint, when I think about my money, your efforts, your money, your resources, your skills, and whatever, we can move some mountains. And in our community, with the shortage of men, if we could all be mature about it, it would solve a lot of problems. Just men being in the household, able-bodied, being productive men, it would solve a lot of problems. I ain't talking about caking, I ain't talking about macking and all type of, from a sexual standpoint. I'm talking about the man being able to provide that confidence, that protection, that provision for each one of those women equally, and showing the children what a man looks like. Too many kids don't know what a man looks like. So as a short-term solution, it could be something, if we were mature enough, it could be something that solved a lot of problems in our communities.
I love that, bro.
Jeffrey for president. Jeffrey for president. I know we just got one, but Jeffrey for president.
Yeah, Jeffrey, I don't know if you ever have any interest in politics or ministry, but we got to find the right platform to get you in the airwaves, man. You are just too powerful to just be on Bar Talk with Jay and doing your own thing. I'm telling you, there's national airwaves waiting for you, my friend. That is for sure.
I appreciate that. You know, from your words to reality. So, you know, let's. I'm opening myself up to it, universe. Drop it in my lap if you want to. Make it a sign. Make it real clear for me. We'll make it happen.
Yes, and so it is. And so it is. And we thank you, man. Any parting words for us tonight?
No, man, fellas. Hey, some of that chatter out there, these mofos still thinking they need to take their country back. So be vigilant when you're out walking. Just take that extra look over your shoulder to your right and to your left. I wish a mofo would. I'm telling you, I'm ready for you. I'm telling you right now, I'll pull up.
Yeah.
Pull up. It ain't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. I promise you. I'm gonna be real cool. You know, I'm a cool brother.
Yeah.
But as soon as you take 2 steps too close, you're gonna meet a whole different persona.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
and
that's all I got, fellas.
Yeah, and that's all we need, my brother. That's the attitude
exactly how I
have.
feel.
There you go.
Thank
you so much, man. We hope to hear from you next week, bro.
All right, fellas, take it easy.
All right.
All right, Jeff.
And you have heard from the good Reverend Dr. Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
He put it down on
As always.
so many levels. We love it, man. We love it. It is time for us to take our next break. I'm going to play a couple of tracks here. You folks stay with us. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay.
We got Buddha back in with us. Couple of just rendition of this part 2.
Yeah. You know, last week, the first part of this, Buddha was supposed to give us his perspective.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Are you recalling that perspective?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's gonna shake y'all up a little bit.
If it don't, I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean,
but I want to hear about.
Jeffrey kind of stole the show. I mean, I was gonna go there, but you know, he pretty much.
You can just go ahead and chime on back in.
Yeah. Go ahead.
From your point of view, you don't gotta give Adam any.
Maybe some folks didn't hear all of Jeffrey's words, but tell the show insight on monogamy. What's?
Well, I my personal opinion is, you know, monogamy is not natural for humans. It's not. Monogamy is a point that you want most people to get in a relationship. And most of the time, you know, if you feel if someone is not monogamous, they're shunned on, they're prejudged. Like, why can't you be with one person? Then at that point you're looked at like you're less than. Like, but that's not true because you're forcing your views on someone else, which that's not right.
Right.
That's just like Christians and other religions, they try to force their views on other people, which the sad thing about it is if you actually open your eyes and take a step forward and try to understand someone else's views without pressing your views and criticizing them because of your own views and beliefs, it'll be an easier place to live.
it would be an easier place to live. I cannot take that from you, right? But if much of society is leaning on culturally and historically, leaning on the idea that families, mother and father, I grew up with my mother and my father, and we were a family, and that's how people are growing up. That's what they know, and many people don't grow up with that, and so they're much more vulnerable to accepting new ideas outside of the family and what that relationship should look like. And you say they're shunned, they're looked down upon. That's because the notion.
Go ahead.
The notion from out here is that a single man is getting around, right?
So
A single man is spreading himself around,
and then that's another issue with monogamy, because you have double standards with monogamy. So you force a woman to mentally feel that, okay, the only way that I can look good for a man is if I have a low body count. And it says to society that this is not a good woman and this is not a good fit because she has a high body count. That's not necessarily true. But you look at a man, his body count can be humongous and he's the man.
Well, what we've always talked about is that sex is emotional for women and is play toy for men, right?
You have some women out there that are just as cold as men out there.
And listen, and they get classified like men.
But the thing is, a man could be classified as a hoe and and get married, and his whole thing changes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a family man now. He's not that player in the street.
Yeah.
But a woman can do the same thing. She's still that hoe.
Or thought.
I mean, come on.
Listen, we understand.
This is real. We talking truth here.
We completely understand that there is kind of a dual standard, right? You get that, right?
Oh, I totally get it.
Is it fair?
It makes sense.
Is it fair to the woman or is it fair to the man?
I say it's extremely not fair to the man.
It's not fair, but not to the man.
Yeah, because I get labeled all the time. I'm defending myself. I feel myself being thrown at the bus.
I'm just going to say it's not fair to the woman.
And not fair to the man. I get called a lot of
different
things.
You do.
So it's not fair.
And listen, sometimes they just hating. They would love to have that lifestyle that you have, but they get classified just like Buddha's saying. So no, it's not fair. But think about it this way, right? If you, as a man, are preparing to take on this woman, and you have any interest in just understanding how she carries herself, her history, the way she, is she easy? You know what I'm saying? Has she been easy for guys? Or has she been the kind of woman... Has she been the kind of woman who, have lots of high body counts, right? Like she thinks of sex not as something special or that I attribute to my loved one. She thinks of sex as something I just get, like a man, right? Okay. When I see a woman do that it will automatically make me think that she probably can't come back from that.
Why can't she?
She can, but it just make me feel...
Because if a man can come back from it, why can't a woman? I
mean, listen, man, are you going to marry somebody who was stripping last week?
What's wrong with that?
You talking to Buddha?
Now check it.
Go ahead.
You have a stripper.
Yeah.
Right? She figured out that, okay, just like on, what's the name? Players Club. Right?
That's the movie.
Yeah. So, she a stripper. And she paid her way through college. She figured out, hey, this is the way I can pay my way through college, and I still can be debt free. Right?
Right.
She gets her degree, and she gets married. She could have some videos out there, or what have you. But you're still holding on to that woman's past over her head versus what she is in the future. Now, how you gonna say that's wrong? And what's wrong with the dude that wife up? And now y'all like, oh, you wifing up a ex stripper.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But she got goals, she got principles.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And she created her own reality.
There's nothing wrong with that. Let me just take this to the extreme, right? I want to just. Okay. This is just for an example.
I like
right?
this.
This is for an example, right? Mm-hmm. Phil is dating this chick. Okay. Right. She fine. She got it going on. She's a superstar. You know what I'm saying? She doing her thing in the world. They fall in love. Mm-hmm. They kicking it. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Phil brings her over to the crib one night. Right. And introduces her to the family. Right. Mm-hmm. And Jay and I realized that was the chick who was getting run through by a team. Right. We realized that hey, that's the chick that was getting the train. You know what I'm saying?
The one we had.
Right? So you know, if you knew that, it would make you think differently about her. If you knew that she had a high body count, particularly several at one time, and this is just an extreme example, you would be like, I don't know if that's the kind of chick. You know what I'm saying? I know, you know, you can look at her past. You know, I ain't saying you can't judge and that she can't change. But if you knew that, you would be less likely to want to wipe her up. Just knowing you, right?
This is after the fact.
I understand that. I understand that. I'm talking about knowing a person's past.
Yeah, I understand. But the way you brung it is this is what she did in her past.
Right.
Now she's doing her thing. Right. We met. Y'all don't know nothing about her. Well, I don't know that y'all had history with it and all this. Right. And I'm in love. Shit, it is what it is. I'm gonna keep running with it.
Let me ask you this: what's the statute of limitation? Is that what if it was 6 months ago?
It ain't no statute of limitation.
Okay, if years ago I understand, but you know if it was like last year,
it ain't no statute of limitation. Why can't the woman change?
She can change.
Okay, Phil. Then so
and you gonna depend on that?
Phil.
What's the problem?
Phil, I like this, but.
You want some bullshit.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna say it like that, but you know what I like about Phil? He's sticking to the terms of what his debate is about.
Right.
But when you brought that one up, it made me go back to some memories of Phil. And you know, Phil would be like, you know so-and-so? He like, nah, man, who you talking about in that? He'd show you a picture, be like, oh yeah, see what happened was. And he like, really dog. And I'm like, I know you ain't talking. So I know it happens.
Right.
And we do. We will tend to step back if we've been with that person.
If we knew that.
You know, especially if we shared and we did something. Yeah. And we talking way back. We ain't for nobody bring this shit up later. No, we way back. Because I know Phil for a long time. So, yeah. You know, so you get some of that. And it is one of the ones that make you step back a little bit. But going back to the debate of what Phil is saying, a person does have a right to change. And you have a right to not look at a body count compared to what a person's goals and morals is. Because they can change.
That people can change.
And I will say, some people's past sticks with them, and I think it's a thorn. No different than mine. You know, by me being single and not wanting to get in a monogamous relationship, I have a thorn over me. Like, yo, you just want to be a hoe. And I say, no, hoes like tendencies, but don't ever get it twisted. I spend more time on my talk radio show and I spend more time on my business than I am on the streets. So when somebody has this perception, they got the wrong one of me. And that's why when anybody get with me, that's why most people want me to be in a more monogamous relationship and married. So because they see the real, not this persona. Right. It's not a game. It's my life, you know. Right. And my whole thing is I'm trying to get it right.
Here's an interesting question, right? And I may ask all of us to do this exercise. We got to go to break here in a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. But if a woman, a good woman, right, was looking at you, Jay.
Yes.
And sizing you up for a long-term relationship, monogamous relationship, what would she see? What would her perception of you be?
Strong-minded, goal set, and I'm rarely caring, but it seemed like I could be cold-hearted because I don't always show my care. But she would see through the fact that I show more coldness towards her, but she'd see I have it. She'd see I have a gift to want to give. but I'm kind of to a point where I just can't just give no more. Where I don't just run out and give. I got to be more thoughtful. I've done all that before, and I'm not gonna say I won't. It's just again, we got to be thoughtful and tactful.
Would she see a man? Would she see, not you see, would she see a man who she would think is capable of a monogamous relationship?
Yes, because I show them the love and compassion I can be with just one. It's just unfortunately they know what I say, but I show them that I can be there for them.
Phil, do you think women would see that you have the capacity to be in a monogamous relationship?
Yeah, man. Part of the East Coast and West Coast was mad because I got married.
He ain't lying.
They was mad. They was mad, huh?
They was mad.
Okay. And,
At least I can say I can't say that.
yeah.
I can at least say that.
Yeah.
That wasn't me.
Most people who see me somehow automatically put me in the married category.
You're such a good guy.
I don't know. They just
so
kind of put me in that whole thing. And believe it or not, man, that's really where I want to be.
You're not wrong.
Right? I want to be in a monogamous relationship. You know what I mean? I'm not into spreading my wings out too much. I just it's too much nonsense, man.
I'm about to mess with you now.
If I can just focus on one good one.
I'm about to mess
That's all
with
I need.
Okay, how
I'm
you
about to mess with you now.
Go ahead.
Hold on. How people look at you in the married category and know you a noob? Oh!
Well, they don't know. Hey, listen.
He's snitching.
Listen.
He's snitching.
Hey, listen. They might know my history when they think about me being a noob.
It's kind of obvious, bro. I was like, crap, when we gonna do our little trip together, bro? We gotta go.
I get put in some bad categories. Listen,
Like we don't know.
It is time for us to take another break. We're having so much fun here. This is great, man. I got a couple of tracks in for you. I hope you enjoy them. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome back with Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome back.
I think that song was very appropriate.
That was a fitting song. That song was Know You Better by Omarion. Yeah.
Man.
He said, I just want to know, but I know better.
Know better. I hope you do better.
I know better. He said, I taught her that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, and then she met Those are questions some questions you shouldn't ask. As you enter into a relationship, it may be better to just not know it all, right? So we're talking tonight about monogamy, and we just finished talking about learning some things about your Mrs. Right, your special someone that may turn turn your opinion of her or turn your opinion of him. And, we don't want to know things like body counts and stuff like that. That's not healthy for a relationship because they could have changed, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know if I'm a little tainted, but, my psychological background says that the average person changes only 15% in a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And these are based on statistics from all types of areas of science. So if she got a high body count, I just gotta wonder if she gonna hold true to the relationship, right? I gotta wonder if she, if I know some things or I heard some things, I really gotta just keep my eyes and ears open, keep my opinions to myself. I gotta keep my head, but I'm always gonna be watching until she show me something different, right? Mm-hmm. And that's just the nature of things, right? I think if you're going to enter into a relationship, you gotta make sure that this person is exemplifying the qualities that are going to make sense for you as a team member and as a partner and as a life, a life partner. So we don't necessarily want to judge them out of the equation, and I think that's what happens a lot of times. I asked the question in the past show. I wonder how many relationships were kind of left on the table because you made a judgment about somebody too early. Yeah. You made that initial judgment and you thought you knew and you really had no clue. Yeah. And now they're on, perhaps being miserable with somebody else and they were supposed to be with you. right?
Okay.
You know, there are people who miss monogamous opportunities because they aren't willing to stick around and learn people. They don't have patience for people anymore, and I can kind of understand that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You know, we've been through enough stuff in life that
you
know,
ain't tolerating some stuff.
Yeah, there's some stuff that, you know, as soon as you see it, you're gonna be like, oh, because you know what's tied to that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, if one of those scenarios, especially for men, if one of those scenarios comes up about money, and you realize that she just don't have any interest in participating in the finances, she just want to be taken care of, that'll throw a kink in the you know,
In the
the
armor.
things. Yeah, in the armor, for sure, you know. Because that leads to selfishness, that leads to putting me in situations that I might not be interested in. You know, you don't need no Berkeley bag. You know what I'm saying? But you like to buy
That's what I
$400
want.
bags,
Right.
but you can't even buy the groceries for the family. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I want.
Yeah, and so that can become a problem in trying to have a monogamous relationship as well. You know, I'm asking the panel, you know, are you guys seeking love? You know, are you interested in love? No matter what you're doing right now, is that where you're headed? Is that what you want? Are you hoping for a monogamous relationship? Are you where your head's at, man,
Okay.
about the subject?
I'm
I
gonna go
want to
with
be understood versus love.
Ooh.
Okay.
We're gonna go there.
Okay.
But I'm just saying.
No,
that's fine.
But,
I mean,
but
because
if somebody
it's
understands you, they
gonna-
might not want you.
Exactly.
But still, at the end of the day, if you understand me and you choose not to love me, I'd rather take that than have some false love.
Mm-mm.
No, well, that's
You're talking about false love.
Right,
Now, yeah,
right.
yeah, we talking about, yeah.
Because you ain't really fell in love with him.
Yeah.
You fell in love with the idea of falling in love. So
Yeah.
I agree to a point because I don't really care for love for that point.
But the point here that he just made is that you got to show yourself.
You do.
You know, you can't
Mm-hmm.
you know, rear your ugly head 2 years into a relationship
And then expect it to work.
and expect her to, you know, all of a sudden, you know, at the end of the second year, you start wearing drop jeans and big sweaters with your hat turned backwards. She gonna be like, wait a minute,
Thank you.
who the
Who him?
who the hell is you?
Not only do I not love you, I'm leaving you. You and them tight jeans.
I can't take
Skinny
you around
boy
my
jeans,
family,
Skinny
right?
jeans.
I'm trying to get you $1 million contract with my daddy, and you
Yeah.
walking around
With
with your,
skinny
you know,
jeans.
yeah.
Trying to hang with your
Not gonna work.
homeboy.
So being understood, there's some value in that, but you know, being understood won't allow someone to deal with your faults,
I
right?
beg to differ.
Now, they'll understand you, but they're not going to have tolerance for you. See, love is about getting through their faults
I
and
totally-
still loving them.
I totally disagree.
Please talk to me.
Because if you understand me,
Mhm.
it's your choice if you want to love me. Because if you understand me, you can love me. You can't love anyone you don't understand. Because
That's not true, man.
I believe it is true. Because if you understand me and I make a decision, you know I'm making that decision for the best of us. You love me because of what I do and how I do it. Because you are understanding how I'm making moves to make us a better family.
Right.
And get instead of having WAP, which is wet ass pussy,
Right.
we gonna have WAP, which is wealth, assets, and property
And
to
listen-
leave with our
And listen,
kids.
but on the opposite side of that equation, I could love you and think that you're going totally the wrong fucking direction. I don't
That's
have
when
to. I don't
communication
have,
comes in.
No, ain't no communicating gonna help me understand what the hell you doing. You messing up in my mind, but
how
I
you
still
figure
love
that?
you.
How you figure that?
But I can still love you. I can
So
still
see-
love you through your faults. I can still love you through
You
your
can
troubles.
love me through my faults, true.
You're
but you
not
have
as-
to communicate with me so
you're not
you'll
as-
understand where my faults lie.
Yeah, listen.
And then on top of
hey,
that,
listen,
you have to comprehend.
if you're the kind of
Because
person,
if you're not gonna comprehend what I'm communicating to you, it's like Charlie Brown, want.
No,
Okay.
you're not hearing what I'm saying.
Okay.
If
Go ahead, Craig.
if you're the kind of person who's not a tidy man, right? Ain't nothing you say gonna help me understand you differently. I can see for myself that you're not a tidy man, but I love you. I love you in spite of your faults. I love you in spite of you going the wrong direction with our finances. I love you in spite of you not spending time with our family. I love you in spite of you don't give me flowers anymore. I love you through all of that, right? That if I just simply understand you, I might not love you. Understanding is not enough. You know, you got to have love is the glue that holds all things together.
Love is a part of it. It's not all of it.
No, love is the only thing that'll make sense, and it's crazy. Love does not always make sense. It's crazy. Understanding always makes sense.
They are crazy.
Right? Because you probably marrying this crazy dude, you ain't figured out if he this, that, and the other, or you know he crazy and got a temper and an attitude. You still love him, and you still try to be with him, and he might whoop your ass every couple of weeks. You still love him.
Right there,
But that's going on in the world, man. It has been going on since the history of mankind.
That's insanity right there.
Right? That I can love, this is another extreme example, right?
Love is not violent.
This is another extreme example, right?
Love ain't gonna hurt you.
But there have been women who love serial killers, and they love them. You know, they right? They love them.
Yeah,
you know, and so
I wouldn't qualify that as love.
But listen. And I keep saying this.
Crazy, but not love.
The thing, see, we gotta separate the man from what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's with all things in the world. You know, Bill Clinton. We use him for an example, right? That I think all men who probably have been in the White House have done what he's done at one point or another, perhaps, right? I think it's gonna be the nature of the thing, right? But that does not hinder the accomplishments that he made for America or mankind or for his family or whatever, right? We can separate his faults from who he is, and that requires
a lot of people can't.
That requires love.
A lot of people can't.
Well, there are a lot of people can't. But he did the damn thing, and in spite of his mistake, he still did the damn thing. He still moved us all forward, and so. That's kind of a sidebar conversation.
Yeah.
But, maybe it's a sidebar conversation because can you love somebody with faults? Can you love somebody with problems? Can you love somebody who doesn't match up necessarily to your standards and to your life and lifestyle?
Well, you have to look at love because love is, you have different types of love.
I get that. It's levels.
Because
I'm not so sure it's the deepest levels.
No, because prime example, you're a parent, you have a child. Your child grow up and he kills somebody. Kill a couple people. Kill a whole lot of people. Mom and dad still gonna love him.
Right.
It's not saying that
they don't understand him, but they love him.
Not saying what he did was
right.
correct.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they still love him.
They still love him. Right.
Because that's their child.
Right. Right.
That's just
you said there's different kinds of love. Love is going to be the same in any of those questions. Love is crazy. Love doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna go in on what you was asking because Phil did his little expression.
Here we go.
I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna go back with mine. In my future, like I said, I'm gonna go back to my past.
Okay.
I got into a monogamous relationship with a person that had a high body count.
Okay.
This young lady let me know when she was in college she did some things.
Mm-hmm.
And when she told me about how many, I didn't judge. But I said, if you was with that, you should be a freak for real, okay? Mm-hmm. So instead of me looking at it as the most negative thing, I took it upon myself to say, okay, she was willing to be open early on. And we was in a monogamous relationship. So I could have easily thought of her as just a thought, this is going to be a smash and that's all it's going to be because what she just told me. Mm-hmm. I really felt like that information was in her college days. Yeah. She did it when she got away from her parents. She had fun. She wilded out. Mm-hmm. So instead of me judging her, I started just paying more attention to her. She showed no signs of going back to what she used to do. Yeah. When we went out her eyes on what nobody else but me. She showed me more attention than anybody else I dated. Yeah. And it's all because she had that experience behind her and she didn't care to go back. Mm-hmm. But it was one that everybody frowned upon. And when she even told the story, most people left her. So she already was fighting her own problems.
Yeah.
So finally she got with a person that wasn't judgmental. I didn't judge her. Why would I judge a person that I'm in a relationship with and I'm trying to see where it's going to go?
So let me ask you this, Jay, and this is kind of an extreme example. What if she said to you that she cheated on her last 3 boyfriends?
It
Ain't got nothing to do with me.
I mean, again, she mentioned some things that happened back in that time that was real close to that. And by her talking about it, that right there tells you a lot, because most people are not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
You're going to go through a whole lot of time being wasted, and they ain't going to say none of that. Because they're already going to look at you, they're going to automatically think you're going to look at them as a fault. Most people going to be more honest about all that. She was. And when she said it, she was like, yeah, but it was so much going on, it probably wasn't the best decision. So I felt like at this point she grew.
Yeah.
She didn't like what she went through. I've been through something similar to that. So I caught it. But when I caught it, I didn't hold it and knock it out of the park and use it against her. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, she opened up. She's willing to be more open.
Vulnerable.
And then she's willing to accept the fact that I'm not judgmental. I'm not judging you. I want us to be like, okay, we can talk about any and everything, but we ain't got to throw it at each other. She did a better job than some of the people I was with after her, because they love to throw up, your discretions and the things that you do. All the time. That don't make you better than anybody else. Or look at the ones you dated before me. How the hell you gonna go back and pick with somebody else and talk about them when I'm being honest with you? You might want to just leave me alone.
Exactly.
Because this ain't what you want.
It sounds to me like you just might, and we got to get ready for another break here. It sounds to me like you just might take her back if she cheated on you.
I'm not gonna just say. Let me say this. That relationship we had, it wasn't about, we broke up not over cheating. That was not on the equation at all.
I know.
That's the craziest thing. You would think some of that had to come into play because we're not together. It never came to play. What came more into play is she made changes, and she told me she never wanted to get married. She never wanted to have kids. And I like both of them ideas when she gave them to me. I was like, yeah, we
so
right there together.
So she basically saying, I'm not wanting to ever have a monogamous relationship?
No. She didn't say nothing about a monogamous. She said, I didn't want to be married. She's cool with the monogamous relationship. She didn't want to be married. She didn't want to have kids. Then I hit it just right.
It changed.
And it changed. It went from, well, the monogamous is nice, but now I want marriage.
Listen, and I understand you don't know how good it can be until you get it good.
I want more.
I'm just telling you.
And then she made her decision that it can be good for a long time.
If we gonna change what we promise, I know what I promised, but listen here. It's time for a change.
Let's take a break. We got about 15, 20 minutes before we get out of here. I'm gonna play one track. It's a heated track with language, but I hope you folks enjoy it. It's new and I'm loving it. We're gonna be right back. More Bar Talk with Jake.
I mean, they're talking about some things now. If you ain't just bouncing your head, you definitely saying some things.
I'm gonna play some hot tracks tonight, I'm play some hot tracks. I remember earlier, we're talking about monogamy again, and as we close out this show tonight, Jay was talking about the idea of minds change when you hit it good. And, I would imagine there have been many relationships, monogamous relationships, to come together because the sex is good, right? And you introduced the idea in the last segment about the young lady, she wasn't going to get married, and she wasn't having any more kids, right?
That's right. No, and she ain't had none. She ain't want none.
She ain't want none, okay. But here's the idea. So if you are in a monogamous relationship with her, then she doesn't want marriage. So you're in a monogamous relationship just to have a monogamous relationship.
Correct.
Is that good? Is that bad? What is...
I mean, being
people
honest
just
with
in
you,
relationships just to be in relationships?
It worked for her at the time because she'd been through so much. And she felt like they just didn't work. at that time. And with me, I wanted to be with a person, but I was also going through a lot of things.
Okay, so y'all just needed each other.
Right. So at the time we came together, we didn't have a future. We was just getting together, and we started building it up. And when we built it up, we had our parameters.
Right.
She like, I don't want to go through all with everybody. This is what I want, and I understand. It was early on. And she spoke, I spoke, but we made it work.
But listen, and at some point, and I think this probably happens in every relationship, at some point she got a glimpse of who you really were, and that she could spend the rest of her life with you. And that, hey, you know, just think about you're with somebody and you're enjoying them and hanging out and having family times or whatever, and all of a sudden you realize that, hey, I got a good thing here. And he might not be, you know, perfect to everybody, but I love the way he rolls. I could roll with him forever. When she gets that glimpse, then that's when one changes and say, hey, I might want to get married. I might want to stay with you forever, you know. And, you know, unfortunately, the other person just may still want to be in a relationship and hang out together and be together, but not necessarily commit to a lifetime relationship or marriage.
I would tell you all day long, there's nothing wrong with what you want, and I believe if it was another person in the same shoes, they'd probably want the same things. I showed her a different lifestyle that she wasn't used to. It was one that I wanted to show her, you know, because she was with me. So anybody with me, you might as well see how I really roll, for we can make better decisions on what are we going to do.
Right.
Yeah. And I exposed her to going on trips and cruises and going out of the country. Yeah. You know, she was one of the first persons I took over. I think we went to the Bahamas. No, it was not the Bahamas. Yeah, it was. Went to the Bahamas, but we took a ship over there, dropped us off, and we stayed. I normally take a cruise there. You can't get off the ship for so long, get back on. Yeah. No, I had one drop us off. Yeah. Stayed there, had to have our passport there for probably a week, and then we took another ship back. So the ship was a taxi. I've never done that before. You know, I'm trying to change the way I was looking at life because I wanted something different. Yeah. She did too, and then it just bonded. But what I really liked is how we had the conversation early on, and she had problems. I mean, like, dude, she was like, I don't really want anything because my past.
I understand.
She used that on herself more than I ever used it.
And she was basically saying, no matter what word she used, she was basically saying, I'm not ready for a marriage for sure, but I would definitely entertain a relationship with somebody.
And I said, cool.
I'm not trying to be out in the streets with 2 or 3 people in my life.
Nope.
I really like to have that special someone. And so, you know, there really is a snag in the rug a little bit whenever one person figures out they want to get married and the other person is still, you know, wanting to just be in a monogamous relationship. You know,
And I got one more thing that was going on. Uh-oh. She was an nympho.
She was a nympho.
Yeah. She didn't explain it, but I could see why she had.
And did that make you want her more?
Yeah, at first. I mean, at first it was fun, man. It was like, wow, really? And you be like, okay, this is cool. After a while, man, you be like, you gonna get off me. Just get to be, it's like all the time.
Right.
I mean, even when you put it in a great session, you like, yo, she's snoring. I know I did that. I'm like, okay, take me a shower and I can chill out and I gotta prepare myself for a long day the next day and I'm getting tapped. That was good. I was like, okay, give me some more sleep because I gotta get, but you think you wanna, no! I want to sleep and then when I wake up, I think about it.
Yeah.
I wake up, she's staring. You up now?
Most people don't really understand
they won't.
The life with an nympho.
It's very interesting. Thing, you gotta have a high level with them.
Yeah, but
and matching it ain't no joke, and you better be in shape.
I would imagine it probably could get a little nerve-wracking, but you know, it would take some serious nympho to get down with Craftmatic. That's the life I live, so I don't know if that would be much of a problem, but you know, the thing about it is, and if you're with somebody who's a nympho, there will come a point to where you can't or don't want to satisfy. Maybe you get mad with them or something, and, you know, but you're probably aware that they're going to get that need fulfilled. And it ain't gonna take long in argument or separation or whatever before, you know, she gonna get that need fulfilled, which means it's tough to have a monogamous relationship with somebody who you think just might, you know, turn around just because they mad with you for a couple of days and go get it from somewhere else.
I would say,
You know?
she was one that did not think that way.
Yeah.
But she wanted it all the time.
Yeah, and
And she
listen,
didn't ever say she wanted it. Was all right.
But listen,
You bring it to me.
and she was gonna get it
And
if
she
she
what?
didn't get it from you.
It's
You know,
like,
I
yo,
promise you.
oh,
Yeah.
she could have.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish she would have. Over there bothering me about it. Listen, we got other things we got to be doing.
Right.
So, you know, hey, that might be one of, hey, listen, we just really together. We ain't married. Do your thing.
Yeah.
And don't come back and brag about it, but just don't be in my ear all about it.
So how would you, in closing, you know, we got just about 5-6 minutes here. How would you summarize this show on monogamy? What was major that come out for you? What's your highlights, Jay?
I'd like to say to a lot of people that's been taught this is what you want. I'm not trying to unteach you. I am really just trying to have a better understanding of who you might be getting with. And if the person is not ready, then you have to have the ability to talk to them about it in a way that y'all both can grow. I like to say long term, yes, monogamous relationship is something that I would want to aim for, but I want to make sure I'm ready for it. I feel like a lot of people ain't not ready for it, or not built for it, and don't even care for it. So don't change them and make them a different person. Just understand them. Understand them to a point where you don't have to disrespect them. Don't look at them and judge them like I tried to judge a person and told me a high body count. I was very wrong, and I think that monogamous relationship I was in with that person was a very good one. So I know for a fact I can do it, and I know it's one of the things that I probably want again. But again, I had to mature, and I had to make change. And I really feel like the conversation is not really there no more. It's just automatically assumed. I was taught this, you should know this. I also know I stand for more principles than what you've been taught. So please know me for we can walk down this path in a righteous way. Because you looking at it is just as a biblical way. Somebody taught you this, but didn't tell you the rest of it.
Okay.
I really
Okay.
feel like it's more to it.
And your feelings on monogamy and this conversation? Any?
Well, my feeling on monogamy and the conversation as a whole, know that monogamy is only one of the ways of a relationship,
Okay.
how a relationship can develop.
Okay.
Before you decide that you want monogamy, don't be afraid to understand the other type of relationships that there are besides monogamy, and you can find yourself benefiting from those as well. And don't be so fast to judge someone who's not thinking about monogamy or doesn't want to be in a monogamous relationship.
Okay. Okay. I think that's good.
fair.
That's healthy. You know, I guess my 2 cents on monogamy is that it is one of the greatest relationships that you can have. To have a ride or die in your corner, somebody who you can talk to, somebody who you can share your life with, your trips and your home and your vacations, and share your love, and somebody you can give to and do stuff for, who will appreciate it, and who does stuff for you, who will be there to take care of you when you're sick and when you're down, when you need somebody. You know, regardless, we all have faults and we all have shortcomings, and regardless of those things, that a monogamous relationship and ultimately love can work through anything. And I think that is kind of the cream of the crop relationship to have for a man and a woman. That's what I would be looking for in my life is, you know, Mrs. Right, you know, and it ain't necessarily been about what I've been taught. A lot of it has been just my experience in life. As a single man, you know, we don't like running around the world, chasing the world anymore. I don't have any interest in chasing the world anymore. I want to chase the world with my special someone. And, you know, that's just the way Craftmatic, you know, get down. But I saw something very special in my parents' relationship and my grandparents' relationship and my uncle and his wife and etc. And that's the relationship I long to have, right?
Okay.
And so, you know, monogamy is the thing for me. You know, ultimately women push for security. And, you know, that's what men sometimes have to look out for, is because they may be wanting you to secure them. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with a healthy relationship that two people have, growing and learning and living and loving. I think that is just, the epitome of it all. So we're going to close out this show with that. We hope you folks have enjoyed our program tonight. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is Smooth Jay. Got my man Buddha in the house tonight.
In the building.
And we want to thank you again for being here. We're here every week, 7 to 9 on Thursdays, Facebook Live. And of course, you can catch us on all the other platforms. Share us, like us, subscribe, send it to all the friends and family, and tell everybody about the positive messages that we've shared here tonight. We love you folks. We greatly appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.